If you are considering joining Symmetry Financial Group, or SFG, or Quility as they're now called, whatever, you might have some questions. You might be looking things up like, are they legit? Are they a scam? Is it an MLM, a pyramid scheme? Well, in this video, I'm gonna give you an honest review from a former agent who wasn't a failure there. I was actually one of their most successful agents very early on. Not to brag, it's just a lot of the videos that I see on them recommending people steer clear. It's everybody in the comments kind of bashing, oh, you sucked over there, that's why. Well, that's not the case here. I was actually really great there. I'm just gonna spill the beans on a lot of the stuff that I saw that if you were in my shoes, you would have done the exact same thing. You would have left. You'd be making this video right now instead of me. So by the end of this video, you're gonna have a clear, decisive, definitive answer on whether or not you should bite the bullet, like just say, screw it, I'm not going to Symmetry and find another agency, or if you should join. And let's dive in. And before we dive in, let's agree on something, that not everyone you agree with is right about everything, and not everyone you disagree with or don't like is wrong about everything. In fact, I'd be willing to bet my last dollar that you probably will learn more by listening to viewpoints of people you despise and disagree with, not because like, what if I'm wrong, but what if they're right? Like you'll learn more about chewing on stuff like that. So what is Symmetry Financial Group? Who are they? What are they all about? Well, I'll break it down for you here, that in a second. The question I know a lot of you probably have about if it's an MLM or not. Long story short, yes, and I'll prove that to you beyond a shadow of a doubt. But they are primarily a MLM structured, pyramidal in nature kind of company where they claim to sell just life insurance, but they're also a lot more than that. This is one of the things in business you really have to learn, is you have to know what business you're in. And they're not just in the life insurance business, they're in the selling, like their agents are usually their most profitable customers. Isn't that funny? Like, and I'll break that down more with the lead situation if you're wondering about, like, because the only reason you're watching all this is you're probably brand new to the industry, or you're unsatisfied with wherever you are in your agency right now. You're probably getting told things that aren't true. You'll find the same things over here. How do I know? I was over there for a couple of years. So Symmetry Financial Group primarily got its start in mortgage protection. What mortgage protection is every time someone buys a house, that stuff is public information. Lead vendors and direct mail companies will send mail out to these places with a little lead form to get the homeowner to fill it out. All this is public information. You can get it on the internet on who just bought a new house where. And so these direct mail companies are sending out leads and like mailers to the homeowners who just bought their house. And they're saying, hey, fill this out. If you die, we'll pay the house off. And it's really just a consent form for an insurance agent to reach out. And if you are privy with marketing, if you're a little bit savvy with technology, it can be a fantastic lead source if you do it yourself. But that is Symmetry. And I just have something to show you real quick, because a lot of people will say Symmetry is not an MLM. Well, here's the thing. Let's just look up what an MLM is. I'm going to go ahead and search this again. That way you know I'm not doing some F12 developer options bullshit like some losers would do out there. So an MLM, or multi-level marketing, is a business model where distributors sell products directly to consumers and earn money from their own sales, keyword, and by recruiting new distributors for a commission on their sales. Okay, income in an MLM comes from a multi-level compensation plan that rewards participants for both retail sales and for building a network of recruits, which forms their downline. And they say they are the MLM. Please tell me more. Please tell me more. I'll let you decide on that. You're a smart cookie. You know that, like, you're also smart enough to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, all of that stuff. So anyways, that's the definition of an MLM right there. Okay, so I'll let you make your own decision on what Symmetry is, but a lot of them, the agencies inside of there, will force you to recruit. And you can tell a lot about what an IMO, what a company really values by how they structure their compensation. And so if the only way to get upwards mobility, meaning you get higher and higher levels of compensation and status and things like that in the company, you get higher rewards, higher compensation levels, bigger trips, better bonuses. There's another stupid thing. If your agency is giving you bonuses, that means they're stealing your money from you somewhere else. Okay, they're taking money from you in commissions. Now, another thing with Symmetry is that a lot of them are going to force you to recruit. And that's, like I said, how you can tell how they structure compensation, because the only way to get to the very top of Symmetry is to recruit. Okay, most agents will never sell their way beyond a couple of commission raises or whatever they want to call it. When I was there, you started off at 70% commission, and now I think it may be 80%. You have like slingshot bonuses and all this stuff. And they try to get people to the middle levels as quick as possible, because that's typically where they get bought and they see some results, and all the cult tactics get to really get reinforced. And I'll break that down in a minute. Some people are probably not going to be very happy with me. And listen, just fuck off, okay? Like that stuff drives me nuts to see great people get taken advantage of, come in here, go 10, 20, 50. There's been a couple of people I know that have like, why didn't you stop? They got 50, 60 grand in debt from buying licenses for every single state per their upline's recommendation, taking out credit cards. I remember a girl was trying to buy leads. She had bought them like 4 weeks in a row, didn't make any sales, told this girl to sell her kids' furniture, her dollhouse, and take out money from like college savings plans to buy leads. And like, you're telling people who have no sales experience, no entrepreneurial bone in their body, to sacrifice everything, go out on the whims for a maybe. Like, what does that say about these people? And when I call it out, of course, I'm the problem. So that stuff's funny. So I'll kind of give you a backstory on how I got started with Symmetry. I was a broke machinist and a mechanic, and I used to build really cool motors and spin pieces of metal on lathes and CNC mills and all that stuff, and turn big blocks of metal, cylinders of metal, into pumps and rotors and shafts. Really cool stuff. And I saw an ad on ZipRecruiter. Joined this guy, David, still really good friends with him today, funnily enough. But he told me he was making 30 grand a month. And I said, 30 grand a month? Like, wow. I'm barely doing that a year. Like if I could just get 5,000, 10,000 a month, my whole life would just be like, ah. And it ended up happening. I actually got really great with insurance sales, probably because I had to. I forced myself into a corner. I burned all the boats. There was no, like the only way out was through, my dear friend. The only way out was through. Anything that got in the way become the way. And I started doing 20, 30, 40K months, 50K months, and ended up being the best agent they had that year, rookie agent producer of the year, sold hundreds of thousands of dollars, sold hundreds of policies, made a six-figure income my first 9 months into the industry. And so for people who say like all the people who make bad reviews about Symmetry, they're liars, they're terrible agents, I'll outsell any single one of you under the bus. And I've gone on to sell 713 policies in the matter of 90 minutes. Name one other insurance agent in this industry that's ever done that can say anything like that. I just don't know them. I am an expert in my craft. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to learn sales and marketing and things like that, because I love what insurance can do for people. I love what it did for me. It changed the whole game. So much so, I went and did things like this to help other agents just like you. You can go get a copy of this on Amazon. It's pennies on the dollar for what it's going to do for you. And I highly recommend this. Like, you're not talking to someone who's just an utter failure and did not put the work in. I made the dials, I bought the leads, and I just wasn't profitable enough. And I got tired of seeing stupid shit. And when I called it out, somehow I was the problem for bringing. I don't know if you've ever had an experience like that, where I'm a 8 and I'm a tied for a 7 and 8 on the Enneagram scale, if you know anything about those. And an 8 is, I get so fucking pissed at injustice. I hate seeing it. I hate it. I hate seeing poverty. I hate seeing people broke. I hate seeing people eat junk food because they can't afford real food. I hate it. I hate seeing agency owners telling people who just gave up everything to become an insurance agent and ask them to give up more. Like, I hate it. I just hate injustice. And I'm so desensitized to the agency owners' bullshit that's going on industry-wide. But I was with Symmetry for a long time, so I can speak on this. And when I reported things, people high up in the company basically just said, yeah, well, nothing's going to happen. So, Mason, you got to gut in my resignation, and went elsewhere. And needless to say, I've gone on to help thousands of agents do things. So you're not talking to someone who's just making stuff up or failed over there. Like, these are real problems. And I'm about to make some more generalizations. And if you find some exceptions to the rule, that's okay. But exceptions do not disprove the point. And so now let's go into the lead situation. Okay, Symmetry wants you to buy leads. In fact, they on average they show you all these commission charts and projections and what you can expect to make and what the average. Here's the problem with averages. The average temperature in Austin, Texas is about 96 degrees year round. That tells you nothing about today's temperature. So never, ever, ever, ever compare yourself to the averages. It tells you nothing. Okay? So when they say things like averages, it plants these ideas in your head that you're going to go out there and do that. And if you're like a social introvert, you're probably not going to do too good. Okay? You're just not. It's like script for pilots. Every pilot follows the same script to take off an airplane. And if I gave you that script and you had to get our family, like my family and your family are on a plane and you have to fly us to Hawaii, like how comfortable would you be following that script? You're like, what the heck is an APU, auxiliary power unit? You have to flip that on first. And you're like, why is that? Because they have experience and depth of that script and you don't. And so when Symmetry, when SFG is telling you to just buy more leads and follow their script, do the system, make the dials, it's like you have no experience or depth to even understand what that means. You just don't. I was one of the few who was able to make a return simply because here's the secret to making lead systems work with any company. You have to get the customers to buy more than one time. If you were buying leads, when you're spending thousands of dollars a week, you have no life. If there are leads, a lot of the time when I bought leads over there, I would notice that other agents inside of the company were calling the same person and say, hey, Susie, this is Mason, blah, blah, blah. And say, wow, you're with Symmetry? 4 other Symmetry agents have called me today. I was like, they said this was a brand new lead that I just paid $40 for, $50 for. When you're buying $50, $60, $40, $50 leads a week, a month, like, it adds up, and not everyone can fucking do that. Not everyone can afford that. Look at the price of chips right now, like $5 for a bag of fucking Funyuns. And you expect people who have no salesmanship in their body, no marketing abilities to generate their own leads, which is the only real way you're ever going to make it in this industry. You're expecting them to just buy leads. Here's the problem with leads in a lot of these companies like Symmetry, is that all you're doing is increasing the number of people not giving you money when you buy these leads, okay? They're bought. Go into insurance groups on Facebook, Reddit, and just look at all the negative reviews. Not the people who are like cheerleading and all that stuff because they're trying to recruit and they don't want bad reviews, like burning their chances of recruiting. So, that's the thing, like I mentioned earlier. Agents seem to be Symmetry's most profitable source, like revenue source, because of how much they spend on leads. Think about it. Selling the same washed up, it's like imagine you're selling girlfriends and you're selling your girlfriend to kiss like every dude in the school. It's like, you don't want to kiss that girl. Well, that's like trying to call the leads that this place is selling you. It's like the girl who's been kissed 1,000 times by 1,000 different dudes. You're like, you got cooties. You got to go. Yet agents will still fork over their last dollar to do this because an agency owner told them to. Because it's the system. You got to follow the chain of command. Like, no, you don't. No, you don't. You're a 1099 independent contractor. And that goes to my next thing. This whole agency owner contract stuff, I just can't believe it when I saw someone with my own eyes who agency owner contract, and when she tried to exercise some of the rights that were within her contract, like her contractual her contractual abilities that Symmetry gave her when she hit the status of an agency owner, when she met the requirements, when she tried exercising some of that and doing stuff, her upline said, no, you're not, because that's going to hurt me. And she basically pulled the plug on some of the operations. It's like, if you're an agency owner, shouldn't you have 100% control over your book of business, over your agents, over your agency that they say you have? So I just can't, it just rubs me the wrong way, okay? It just rubs me the wrong way. These people are fucking losers, all right? Now, the recruiting focus, they're going to try to get you to recruit 100 different people, go bother your family and friends under the guise of sharing the opportunity in hopes that 1 or 2 of them will end up selling something and they all bring on family and friends. And it's just, look, the only way you're going to really make money in this industry is if you understand sales. Sales is the lifeblood of any business. Nothing happens in this world until something is sold for a profit. Okay, so if you want to become a successful insurance agent, you're going to have to learn to sell. Like I said, go get this book or go check out one of the links in the description to go check out a sales program. If you're already licensed or if you're wanting to get licensed, it'll help you out. And speaking of licensing, the courses that this company recommend, that Symmetry recommends, like Excel solutions or ExamFX, I met a guy in my agency named, can you guess how many times it took to get and he's not a dumb dude, okay? He's not a dumb dude. It took him 7 tries. He had to take the licensing test 7 times to pass it. He never did shit with it after, probably because he got burnt. Imagine spending $100 per test. Like, this license ended up costing him more than it was worth. It's just pointless. So if you want to make sure that you pass your licensing insurance exam the first time, I have a link below in the description that my buddy Justin put together. I had to retake mine a couple weeks ago. I passed mine in 4 days. I started the test on, I think, Thursday, and by Monday I took my test, got licensed, and all I did was study the flashcards. And super simple. It only took me 4 days. So if you want to make sure you get licensed the first time and not waste hundreds of dollars on licensing, just take the one over here. I think it's only $100 compared. If you go to the website yourself, it's like $350. A lot of the discount code Symmetry give you are like $50 courses. That's fine, but you have to study for like 400 hours if you actually want to pass it your first time. I studied Justin's version for less than an hour and got licensed. So it's really good. You should go check it out. Is the sales training at Symmetry? It's absolute trash. Okay, I'm gonna play you a message. I'm going to play you a message from a dear friend of mine. We were pretty much making fun of how the industry has gotten and how people sell.
Dude, like, here's how the final expense and like life insurance pitches now to leads pretty much go. And this is why everybody's fucking transactional. Like, all the clientele are, because they get all these calls from these dipshit rookie agents. And it's like, hey, I'm getting back to you about your final expense price quote. And just want to make sure that you got the right information and who you're talking to, blah, blah, blah. And so you're 65, right? Oh, okay, got it. And now you're looking to leave something for your family or trying to just cover your burial expenses? Oh, okay. So just your burial, got it, okay. Oh, you want to be cremated? Oh, okay. Everybody's doing that these days. Okay, what's your health look like? Oh, okay. Do you use insulin or metformin? Got it. How tall are you? How much do you weigh on a good day? Ha, ha, ha. Are you a smoker? No. Oh, huh. Do you plan to start? Yeah, I'm just teasing you. Anyways, this is going to be a whole life permanent plan and blah, 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 blah. And then, like, the guy says something like, yeah, my brother died 2 weeks ago. Oh, I'm so sorry. Did he have life insurance? No. Oh, well, then this is very important for you then. And then they share options, and then they're like, I got to think about it. And then they're like, these leads fucking suck. Really? Like, when we talk to human beings, like, it's such an emotional conversation. And people...
So that's like a joke that me and my buddy were talking about. Like, that's the state of our industry, and that's what sales has been reduced down to. And you see people, there's a channel on here that has done some similar things. I'm just calling about, just acting confused, act like we don't know what we're talking about, and we're from the mortgage company and blah, blah, blah. Like, the sales training for this, I'm a huge believer that anyone that has not gone through Mason Van Meter's sales training for this industry should not be able to sell. You're simply not compliant. I don't care who else's programs you buy, the 8 C's of closing, any of that shit. Like, there is a certain framework, there's a science to selling. And if you are not doing it in the way that I teach, you are not building a relationship with the client. You are not doing what is in their best interest. You're selling out of your own pocketbook, and you're selling based on price rather than identity in the relationship and a transformation. Like, no value exchange occurs in these models of selling that this company promotes. The scripts, I've read them all. It's like, yeah, I'm just calling from ABC Mortgage with your, I see that over here that you have 120. It's very manipulative, it's condescending, and it's taking advantage of people, and I just don't care much for it. And a lot of this just comes down to also supportive echo chambers. You have people that are not telling you the truth and just confirm. It's confirmation bias. They just confirm whatever you tell them because it settles you into predictable patterns of response to where they can get you to do what they want you to do, because they make you feel good when they tell you nothing's wrong with you. It's the lead's fault. Just buy more. And this in the cult world is known as thought stopping. And what you do is, here's the thing, when all you hear is trust the system, like follow the system, trust the system. When you hear that 1,000 times from 1,000 different people, it gets reinforced and ingrained into you, which is why they make jokes like come around the campfire where it's warm, plug in. These people on the outside, they try to isolate you from other people. That way you don't get your own perspectives about things. And here's the funny thing. Plato says, those who are able to see beyond the shadows and lies of their culture will never be understood, let alone believed, by the masses. And so there's a lot of people who are going to have problems with the things I'm saying. But the agency politics, when I'm trying to report things that like are immoral, they're like they're degenerate, like shit like this happening should not be allowed at any company. So yeah, that is my opinion on Symmetry Financial Group, and that is a real experience. I think there's a lot of fantastic people there that have been absolutely steamrolled. They're not making the money that they were promised. And it's very sad. I have a lot of love for a lot of amazing people over there. There's only 2 agency owners I would recommend in that entire company. If you are going to go, you're like, oh, Mason, I'm not going to listen to anything you say. I'm smarter than you. Even like, okay, you do you, boo. Okay, you're a grown adult. Have some discernment. You can make your own decision. Just don't say I didn't warn you. There's only 2 agency owners I trust at the entire company. I'm going to put them down below if you want to go schedule an interview with them. And I know without a shadow of a doubt, they'll take care of you, and they'll not make you recruit, and they'll not make you buy shared leads that have been passed around more than the you knew in high school. So yeah, like I said, if you want to make sure that all the work you do to get your license is not in vain, and you actually want to learn to sell, because that's the only thing you're going to get paid for, go get a copy of my book, Life Insurance Agents Commandments. You can read it. This is more than a book; it's actually a book. It has a feature called autosave. Look at this. You just bend the page. Look, go right back to where you were. No problem. This is a book. Okay. You can also use it a fire starter, a fan, a lot of things. If you are unlicensed and you want to pass your insurance test the first time, click the first link down below in the description to go get the licensing course and go pass it your first time. Okay. It's a lot easier than anything else you're going to do, even though it's only $100. So go do that one. Do not do Excel solutions. Do not do ExamFX. It's a waste of $50 or $80, whatever it is. I don't care if they buy it for you. Get your own $100, go buy the one down below, okay? It's 10 times better. You'll actually get licensed. And if you want to go talk to the 2 Symmetry agency owners I recommend, do things that are against your best interest or lie to you and all this crazy shit, click the link down below in the description. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. And it's unfortunate that it's come to this. This industry is getting wrecked more and more every day. If you can just go look up the amount of lawsuits that Symmetry has. Like I said, there's a lot of great people, a lot of fantastic people in that company. You guys, I truly wish all the best for you. But man, when you see what goes on, when you hear the conversations that I've heard, when you go on the trips and you see people for who they really are, it's like, I can't be around this and also claim to love God or have a soul, any of that shit. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Links down below in the description. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that fancy stuff, and I'll see you on the next one.